Hazapu, Harunafed, Harunafed. Looking forward to getting it in today. Let's go. All right, so let's get into our adumbration so we can get it moving. We're going to start, as always, with our Shiasha, and we're going to move on in and get it in with our all-over body check-in. We're going to do a little Asar Stance, probably about 8 breaths today, specifically because I want to have time to get into the Qigong, and we're right at the Lunar Cycle, we're right at our full moon. So hopefully you're taking some time out to get into the full moon. Full moon should be available where most of folks are while right as the sun is setting. So you should be able to get it in at the early part of the evening so it doesn't be disruptive to the rest of your day or cycle or things that you have planned, and be able to get it right on in. All right, for the next couple
Happy New Year.
Yes, and we're coming up on the end of headed towards the Lantern Festival for those that practice the Chinese aspect of the Lunar New Year. Actually, that's today. Yeah, a lot of folks happening over the weekend. There may be some things happening. Go ahead. What's up now? Happy?
I was just saying, yeah, it's today. That's the last day of the Chinese New Year.
Yes. And so you'll get an opportunity to
With
check
the full
out
moon.
Local community, experience some of the culture. This is a traditional Chinese martial art, so it gives you an opportunity to get out and see some more of the culture. It's one of the reasons why we embrace culture the way that we do. It affords you an opportunity to learn your own culture and then expand and be able to share with others. It's one of the most important things about being human, is being able to share your culture around common things like New Year's celebration, because we all celebrate them at different times. That's why here we don't talk about, different times in the year. We don't usually talk about time here. We talk about cycles and patterns, because time is relative. It's an affect of culture. And if you want to know more about that, you can check out down here, you hit the like button, subscribe and all that. We have in our liberation tools area some discussions about that. Now back to the adumbration, where we are going to get into the lunar cycle of the form. We're going to do the whole short form, lunar cycle, and then we'll get into breathing exercises, and we'll end up with our wisdom from the sages of the ages and our Shiasha. So we ready to get it in? All right, let's go. All right. To all the masters that have gone before us, we bow. Teacher to student, student to teacher. Get it in. Now we're going to switch up. So we have the opportunity to get started with our all over body check-in. All right. And so with that, let's get cracking. We're going to sit tall. Everybody get nice and tall. And we're going to rotate that foot. And again, you can do this either this way or as we restructure our COVID-based studio. What we're going to do is find another way to set this up so you'll be able to get it. All right. And that's actually in the works. We're about 6 months out from redesigning the space so we can get what we need out of that. We've already changed direction. Go ahead and wiggle those toes. One at a time. Starting with your big toe, of course, and then working your way down. All the way to the pinky toe. All right, and this is a lot of work for the feet, because most of us don't pay much attention to our feet. So the goal of these exercises are to rebuild and renew, as well as create these neural networks of communication between the brain, the mind, and the body, particularly the foot. So we'll do it with the other foot now. And this is a huge help for those folks who have circulation challenges, because what it enables you to do is to develop a conscious relationship. And so they say where the consciousness goes, the blood flows. So by us focusing on the foot, focusing on moving this ankle around, change directions, focusing on the metatarsals, it affords you an opportunity to also feel the muscles in the calf all around the shin area. Okay, let's change direction. And in so doing, you start improving your relationship with your body. So the Qigong that we're going to do today, as we start wiggling these toes, we specifically want to do things that are going to increase the heart rate, that are going to boost our immune system in this cycle. All right, big toe only, and then work your way down. And that's the design. So we're not going to hit the whole Qigong set today, or sets, plural, because I want to really emphasize this all over body check-in as we get started. And then we'll come back to that. You have the other videos, start with the shoulder, that we can get to. And it's important that we spend the time doing it this way, because what it's going to enable you to do is to start to be able to isolate and actually feel your body and really be able to listen to and respond to, take it forward, the messages that your body gives you. So you won't want to mask them with either some form of NSAIDs or aspirin or acetaminophen, ibuprofen. You won't want to mask the pain. You want to see what the source is and then see how you can address it. Okay, now that may be using that particular aspirin or acetaminophen or ibuprofen other shoulder, but it may also be checking out some turmeric and black pepper and a little bit of oil. It may also be looking at baobab powder. It may also be looking at increasing your water intake, because that's another way to flush the system with toxins that may be creating and assisting in your inflammation. It may be paying extra close attention and saying, hey, let me do this Qigong that will alleviate the pressure. Let me do this breathing exercise that will alleviate the sinus pressure. All right, take it the other direction. Let me relax and breathe fully, utilizing these principles that I've learned here with the Kemetic Ahan Sama Association, as it will enable me to have greater control, greater conscious control of my body. And so you hear me talk about these things all the time. All right, now we're going to work with that hand. Tuck that elbow under, and we should feel all the muscles in the forearm working. Should feel the weight of the whole arm on the shoulder, the weight of the forearm and hand on the bicep, and the muscles of the forearm that are moving the hand around all through the metatarsals that are in the hand. Change direction. This is also hugely important. You want to be able to keep moving, as one of the things that addresses arthritis is to be able to keep the joints moving and flowing. We know there's certain repetitive stress issues that may inhibit that. However, once we start talking, like I did a moment ago, about inflammation, and we can get to the Asar Stance as well, and let's wiggle those fingers as one of the tools that we utilize to decrease inflammation in working on carpal tunnel challenges. All right, now one finger at a time. And we switch hands. Pardon. Had to redistribute some energy. All right, change direction. And let's look at those figures. And then one at a time. Okay. And so we're going to spend a little time working through gently with the knees. We're going to do some sunrises over the sunrises and sunsets to get that in as part of the variation on some of the Qigong we're doing today. And we're going to get that body moving so that you have an opportunity to feel fully how it is when we get the body moving. We use this in terms of a more therapeutic way in the event that we're having challenges related to COVID, as we talked about before. So this is a way you survive COVID. You want to talk about some of the breathing that may be going on. So we've gone through that before. Today, we're going to talk about some of the physical movements that will aid in continuing your survival, as some of the things we've shared before through one of the survivor networks that we found on Instagram in terms of how they shared tools together. So we've already talked about nutrition. We've already talked about fasting. We've already talked about a number of those things and how we're going to cover that going into the spring equinox. So that stuff is upcoming. We're going to do now today, spend a little bit of time. As I said, we're going to do some Asar Stance and talk about how it works for you and what it does. All right, here we go. Wuchi position. Pyramid hands. You're going to shift the weight, step left, a little wider than shoulders width, heel first. Balance the weight between the legs. 8 breaths. Pyramid hands. Holding the golden orbs. Into oneness. Into the turtle. Drawbridge. Pointing the hands. Into oneness. Rabbit through the chute. into oneness. Right hand on top of left hand, palms up, thumbs touching. Rotate the left hand on top, palms facing. See a ball of gold and white light like the sun in between the palms of the hands. Into oneness. Into the turtle. Drawbridge. Point the hands. Oneness. Pyramid hands. And shift the weight back to Wu Chi. Shake it out, opposite hand, opposite leg. Feet parallel, shoulders width. Into the Ka position. 2 breaths. Pointing the hands forward, 2 breaths. And shifting the weight and pivoting. So you get into the Dua position. 4 breaths. Let me step back and we get into swinging arms. Let them swing. I'm going to open the chest and stretch the back. Now, last one. Check it out. All right. Then get the Wuchi. Do the short form. All the way. Check it out. All right, feet parallel, shoulders width. Gonna go right into the lunar cycle. So let's go. All right, check it out. We'll do it one more time. Lunar cycle. Be sure to get out under the moon tonight and practice your part of the form that you go to remember, be it all the way to the into the short form, one of the brush knees. Here we go, sinking down. Lunar cycle. Remember, the movements have a relationship with the cosmos, with the I Ching. Connected to your breath, connected to the internal organs. It's going to behoove us to take the time to learn how this connects. All right, so we got that in. Now what we're going to do is our breathing exercise. You can get it in. Here we go, sitting tall. Starting with the left nostril, blocking with the left hand, middle index finger in the center forehead. Breathing in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. And release. Switching hands. Breathing in. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Fire breath. Deep breath in. Release. Both hands, breathing in, out, in, out, in, out. Fire breath. Deep breath in, chin down, and release. All right, we got to get into our wisdom from the sages of the ages. Starting with the essence of Tai Chi Chuan, the literary tradition. Okay, so here we go. This is taken from the Tai Chi Chuan Ching by Sheng Sanfeng. So ward off, roll back, press, push, pull, split, elbow, and shoulder are the 8 trigrams. Step forward, step back, look left, look right, and central equilibrium are the 5 elements. And then you have ward off, roll back, press, and push. And then you have the others that are the 4 cardinal directions. And then you have those that are the 4 diagonal directions. And so those movements are also in the form, and they step forward and step back, look left, look right. Central equilibrium are metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. So you get the 8 and the 5. Together, those comprise the 13 postures. All right. And that was the essence of Tai Chi Chuan. So here we go with the teachings of Ptah Hotep. All right, here we go. Do not be proud and arrogant with your knowledge. Consult and converse with the ignorant and the wise, for the limits of art are not reached. No artist ever possesses that perfection to which they should aspire. Good speech is more hidden than greenstone, yet it may be found among maids at the grindstones. All right, let me get to our Tao Te Ching. Discriminating virtue. One who knows others is wise. One who knows themselves is enlightened. One who conquers others is strong. One who conquers themselves is valiant. One who knows contentment is rich. One who acts with determination has high aims. One who has not lost their proper abode endures. One who dies and yet does not perish becomes immortal. Well, thank you for your time, your participation, and your presence. I'm grateful for the time we were able to be here together today, and I look forward to spending our time together in the future. If you can like and subscribe down below, hit the little bell so that you get notified, we'd really appreciate that. And also, remember that these tools aren't designed just to help you move the body, aren't designed just to give you martial prowess. That these movements are designed to help you heal, prevent and or maintain or recover from these all kinds of illness or dis-ease. Look at what we're doing. See how your body feels afterwards. And then, with doing this consistently, you'll have an opportunity, should it be possible, to join us in our live sessions here, our in-person sessions, or as we continue to grow, we'll have an opportunity to meet you where you are. Hatapu, Heru Nefer, Ankh Uja Seneb, Amen Re Nesut Necher, Atan Re Neb, and Ankh. Hatapu.